Um, let us talk now about Minuteman Mike.
Bring it on.
So, about, let's see, 4 years ago?
Was that 18?
Yeah, 2018. Yes. we we stumbled upon what we thought was was something very cool, but for some of us, it ended up not being very cool.
Yeah, and for some it was very cool.
Yeah, yeah. So in 2018, I think it was in the basement of the football stadium, right?
Yes, yeah.
There was someone called Minuteman Mike
And the man Mike.
and his band of merry men and women.
Yes, miniature minions.
Yeah. So they what they would do is here's what they promised: we will scan your face and put it on a miniature. So we were like, whoa, we're in. There's a healthy line. The price was reasonable.
I thought so.
Yeah. I mean, they were getting a lot of interest,
Yeah.
and maybe that was their trouble, is that they priced it too affordably, because I think what happened is they got in over their heads.
For a custom miniature, it was a hell yes.
Yeah. So we all went through the line.
Yeah.
And we got our faces scanned, along with everybody else. You get to pick your body.
Yeah.
You want your face on a World War II guy. Do you want it on, like a fantasy person? Just it was a very sound idea.
Yes, and they had like the roguish type of person and a knight kind of person, a barbarian type of person.
Yep.
And again, have your face scanned and custom put on a little miniature for yourself is pretty cool.
And they so you do that, you pay right away, and they promise, we will get this to you once we have it made.
Right.
And it's a resin 3D printer. That seemed to be what they were using. It was detailed. They had the samples there. So, we did it, and we're like, oh, cool. We got that waiting for us.
We're super psyched.
So, all right. So, couple months go by.
If I remember properly, when we got the receipt and a little card and stuff like that, it said you should be getting your miniature by something date in September. I mean,
yeah.
The date was sometime in September. You should be getting your miniature.
But I think it was after that. I think they were a little late, which didn't surprise us. And we were, people will put up with that.
Yeah.
But finally, some of us started to get our figures,
which was awesome.
Yeah. I got mine. My son and daughter, got theirs. A couple of the other folks we were with in the gaming group got theirs. Basically, everybody got theirs, except for Rogan.
Except for me.
So you were like, probably, I imagine you checking the mailbox every day.
Yes.
Running down and, is it here? Is it here?
It's here.
So,
please, Mr. Postman, please.
So yes, we had sympathy for you. By this time we had painted up our minis. In fact, you helped paint one of the non-painters and did a great job.
Yes, and they were sweet. They were.
Yeah, which must, in retrospect, that must have been salt in the wound.
Well, as sweet as they were, and the situation, there's an extra burn on in my soul.
Yeah. So a couple months later go by, and you're probably stewing, and we all were asking, like, oh, by the way, Jim, did you ever get your minis yet? Have you talked to Minuteman Mike? So what were you doing during the time when you realized, Houston, we got a problem?
Well, I was I think it was October when I first reached out, and I heard nothing. Then maybe November-ish, I reached out again, and I believe I got a message that it was going to be sent, and then nothing. But in between those times, I had sent texts and that. So from that point until I, I, I reached out again in January, and nothing. And at that point, I was pretty pissed off. So I went, I emailed them often, and to the point where I realized that they blocked my email. They weren't responding at all to any of my emails, and I just say, listen, I just want my money back. I'm cool, and nothing, no response, nothing at all. And I ordered 2 miniatures. I was $80 some, or I believe something like the $90 with tax, something like that. It's just all right. You don't, something didn't work out. Just send me my miniature back. So and so when they blocked my email, then that's when okay, then this is war. This is war. I made a Gmail account for myself. Um, I'm not going to say the name of it, but it had something to do with Mike, and my money. And so I proceeded to bombard him with more emails from this other account, and full well my name is on it.
Yes.
And received nothing, no correspondence of any sort. I would go to their site and click on their contact me, and I would leave messages on their site at the time with no response. So then
Right.
like, all right, I'm not getting. It's not that I wasn't getting satisfaction. I'm like, I'm not getting anything at all.
Nothing.
So I went again after making sure every day through various means, through various emails, I sent them emails saying how angry,
Right. Right.
I went on YouTube, because I noticed that YouTube had a handful of Minuteman Mike videos. Some most of them posted by other people in regards to packs. Other people like, hey, check this out. The other gamer type people. And I would go on and read the comments, and then I'd add my comment, and it was several paragraphs about how I waited X amount of months and received nothing, and no information, and then and I would find that okay, here's another video. So I would bombard these again, doing my daily due diligence with emails, and almost daily going to every single one of these YouTube videos and leaving comments saying, "Hey, you screwed me. You freaking screwed me." And
He must have been when he saw your name in the morning, every morning.
well,
He must have been like,
undoubtedly, it got to the point where I'd leave a comment, and it'd be like a whole bunch of comments after me saying, "Yeah, these people were at PAX. They've already been waiting, 9 months. All these people were responding saying, yeah, I've reached out to the Better Business Bureau. They can't get a hold of them, and it would turn into this process. A lot of these people. I mean, it was an enormous amount of people wanting their figures or their money back. So I kept this campaign of internet terror relentlessly.
you
Absolutely.
launched a jihad against Minuteman.
Honestly, it was at that point it wasn't daily, it was every other day, but it was I'm like, honestly, it was like my email, the other email on their site, and then another more posts on various YouTube videos.
It was a campaign.
It was a campaign, absolutely. And and it, I remember being in line. I think it was the will call, that really long line, and these people come up and giving out these things. Hey, check this out. We make a miniature on you. And this one guy's talking to me, nice enough guy. He was with a lady. I remember vividly. And I got their Minuteman miniatures. I'm like, cool. This is like, and I was like stoked. I'm like, this is freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is really cool. I always, I'm not saying I was 12 again at looking at the Christmas tree Christmas morning, but I was stoked. This is freaking
Right.
cool.
Right.
And here I am. My buddies got their miniatures and they look great. And that's a good thing that worked out for them. But all these other people are saying, "Hey, I didn't get mine. I didn't get paid. I didn't get mine. I didn't get paid." Well, this one lady went out and like this one lady again was going on about how she had bought a whole range of them for her group or whatever it was, and got none. She just wants her $400 back or $380, whatever it was. The best of my recollection. So yeah, it became deeply personal. It was a jihad, and like again, it was until I finally heard from them, um, at the end they're saying, you know, doing a review. I was out. It was out of nowhere because I didn't think I was going to get any
Right.
satisfaction.
Right.
But we reviewed the thing, blah blah blah, and we will be sending your money back via PayPal, yada yada yada. And then it was like a day or so after that, I got my money back. But like, there was never an apology, never like, it was never like. And listen, if it would have taken 8 months for it to happen,
Right.
as long as there was correspondence, something along the lines, hey, we got absolutely buried and we've been having some logistics issues or whatever it was.
Right.
Like at least like let me
Just
know.
give an update.
Yeah, give me an update because I get it because it seemed to be an extremely popular thing.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But to
It was very cool.
very
I
cool.
mean, a couple of them were misses,
Yeah,
but generally, like, we were shocked at how good the likenesses were on some of them.
Crazy Mouses looked exactly like them.
Yes, it did.
Yes,
Absolutely like it.
yes,
So this was a good idea, but it was just fucking. They got in like way over their head,
right.
like way over their head.
But I went so far to look up their company and their like I found their office address in New York, and
Right.
because other people again were going through the Better Business Bureau, so that information became available.
Right. So I think at a certain point, I think it was pretty well known. You weren't going to get anything. Mike had started to cover his tracks.
Yes, yeah,
he had
yeah,
he had moved on
yeah, yeah.
to greener
I
pastures.
wasn't going to let go of it.
You were not going to let go.
No.
You were going to let him know that he tussled
Oh yes.
with.
At one point during one email I sent him, I made in no way, shape, or form a threat, but I said, hey, you have my picture, you scanned my face, so you know what I look like. I know what you look like from seeing you and on your website. So when I see you next year at Gen Con, there'll be no confusion of who we are. And I promise you, I will inform everyone of how you screwed me and hundreds of other people.
Maybe a not so veiled threat too.
Oh,
Just there might be some harsh words, perhaps at nose to nose level.
certainly said there was not going to be a surprise.
Right. Right.
Not at all. It's a bummer. It really is,
So at a certain point, this I was thinking we were all like kind of chuckling over this, but this kind of led me to do an impromptu little comic at work. Kind of we'd kind of envision Mike just
Yes.
frantically trying to resin print like 30,000 miniatures, and his hands are just turning into like these deformed like lobster claws. He's just going like, oh, and then of course, his he's driving to the hospital with his wife. Don't worry, Mike. We'll get you to a hospital. They'll fix you. And it's at that point he turns into the supervillain that he became. No, Minuteman Mike is dead from Salon Call. Just big crayfish. Yes, because of the claws, I guess. I don't know. It's just
That was hilarious.
obviously based on the Punisher Warzone.
One of the best
Yeah.
Marvel action movies made.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. We'll have to do a video on that at some point.
Mike's dead.
Mike is dead. From now on, call me crayfish.
Yeah. So I eventually got my money back and let go of the bone.
Yeah.
But once I made a comment the other night, I did taste blood, so I do check his website often.
It cut deep.
But yeah, cut deep. If this was a D&D game, we would have become each other's nemesis.
Yeah.
I have to say, I would outclass him.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, but it became my nemesis. Yes.
All right. Well, that will wrap up the Minuteman Mike story. Jim's or Rogan's eternal eternal enemy.
Yes.
um, so you might be wondering, Rogan, what's up next for the channel?
Oh,
What am
I
I?
don't know. Honestly, we've had an awful lot of wonderful and very colorful experiences at Gen Con.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you know,
Well, I'm thinking it might be time for Tell 'em Shade
is it
for Gen Con. Um, let's see. We might want to hit him with that. So maybe next time we get together, we'll do the Tell 'em Shade story.
Oh, yes.
Maybe
Yeah, yes.
we'll see if maybe we can get Mrs. Diversity and Dragons
Oh,
to
yes.
chime in,
Yeah.
seeing as she was there.
Yeah, that was it's hard to put that one to words. It was it was wild.
Yeah.
It was a shared experience that we will never forget. Honestly, from
Yeah.
opening up the dice bag till
Yeah.
you know,
We will we will definitely do that next time. No need to sit on that one. As for the regular videos, I'll be finishing up this week the Journeys through the Radiant Citadel. Thank God. It's, uh, this is very ponderous.
yes,
It's not a very good book. As I think I found one adventure that was you could do a little if you did a little work, it wouldn't be too bad.
right,
Something I'm noticing is that it's very easy to be woke and stupid for lower level adventures because they don't have to worry about things like balance and
right,
that kind of thing. When you get to these higher levels, it's almost like they have more to worry about. But when the stakes are just so low as they were in the first couple
right,
adventures, it's just well, we have time to fuck around and
right.
just do nothing.
I love that repeatedly how it's a festival, and all I could think about I think it was the second one was my experiences with my kids being when they were little, and they used to watch The Wiggles.
Yes.
All right, and there was this guy on there. He was a captain of a pirate ship,
Oh, I remember.
Captain Feathersword.
Yep.
And all I can think
Mhm.
of is, okay, the bad guy of this one is going to be Captain Feathersword. You know,
Yeah, it's so crazy. We're being left behind. Um, our generation, I think, when it comes to like D&D. I mean, I think this kind of thing is going to start to be the norm.
I
This kind of like cutesy, cutesy wokeness, I guess I'd call it.
right.
You know, um, it's kind of sad, but I'm just there'll always be some niche, hard fantasy, like Conan style, or even something like Birthright. But I don't I don't think the people that conceived this could. It's just not possible for them
Right.
to sit down and do a setting like Birthright. They couldn't do
Oh
it.
God, no, no. Yeah, no. Birthright itself, removing, which is hard to do, but removing, the collective experiences that we've added to it during the
Mm-hmm.
20 plus years of doing Birthright,
Mm-hmm.
the campaign and all the books and the lands and the history, it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
And, absolutely amazing.
but it was so well done because it's like you read through these old books and it's like they'll give you names here, just little drops here and there, and
Yes.
it's like, oh, all right, well, I'll keep this person, or well, this person probably died, as we've moved on, like
Right.
maybe this person is doing it now, or their son is, or it's just so detailed. And it's Rich Baker who did it, and he's just, yeah, that guy was really good.
Yes.
He did one of the best dungeon magazine adventures, that I've ever read, called Run More. Just a real evocative, yeah,
Yes.
just really cool. This hunt for this like giant emerald. So many of those dungeon, adventures were kind of hit or miss, but when you had someone like him writing, it was so good.
Yeah.
And to the best of my knowledge, he has not. I've never heard of him like being like exceptionally like crazy these days. Maybe he just keeps a low profile. I think he was doing that Thule setting.
Okay.
Um, Primeval Thule,
All right, all right,
which is kind of a more of a kind of a Conan-esque for fifth edition, you
right.
know. So it seems like he's still doing good stuff. But man, a lot of people are just so crazy. Like Chris Perkins used to work at Dungeon. In fact, he approved the adventure that I submitted and got published for Dungeon. He was the one
Right.
who like was the editor, and we were communicating. He just seemed like a normal dude.
Yeah.
Man, don't go to his Twitter now. I
Oh,
mean, he's
really?
crazy. Yeah, just these. Oh man, it's depressing. Did you hear what the game of the year was at Gen Con?
No, I did not.
The Any? Mm. Yes. It was for our old friends, Evil Hat, I think, Productions, who they do make a fair system. It's that bubble gumshoe like system.
Okay,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
All right, but they are one of the most woke. Like I don't even want to say woke. They're just leftist like companies. They are just full of like really awful people.
Right.
But one of the games they released and its game of the year this year is Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
I don't have words for that. That so like this was this in a special category?
No, this is game of the year.
This is the game of the year.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let me if I'm trying to remember properly, um uh, Tales from the Loop was game of the year a bunch of
yeah,
years back, which was an outstanding game.
yeah,
We've played a lot of the games that were
yeah.
games of the year. And get talk to other people that have played these games.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I got to ask again. What was the title again?
Thirsty Sword Lesbians. It is a game where it's what you would think it is. It's just real, like full of smarm, and like you can cut down your opponents with words, and it's just stuff like that.
So this isn't based on a Corman movie. No.
Must well we I asked a real life lesbian that I know very well what uh what she thought, and she just rolled her eyes and said that looks terrible. So um it's certainly not making any inroads with just normal folks.
You want to know what the system is? I can't even imagine what
Well, I think it'll probably be a variation of that bubble gumshoe
Right.
system. But it'll be well, I tell you what, yeah, you will know because I have ordered this book and I'm gonna review it.
Double D taking one for the
And
team.
yes, we will see how bad it is.
You know, I then I have to guess. Well, how bad were the other ones going against it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
Hmm.
I have to imagine there's probably
Well,
some good product that people, were throwing their hat in. They worked really hard on it, and it wasn't, you know,
Well, knowing the kind of judges that they're getting, I mean, my guess is some of the sane judges are gone, and we know Russ over at EN World is a fucking idiot. I mean, we all know the people that try to be judges have tried to be judges there over the years. A certain dirt farmer from
oh
Texas,
gosh, yeah, oh,
folks like that.
jeez Louise, oh
Um,
man, and with all due no respect, that dude is a piece of garbage.
oh, he's a fucking. I hope he's 6 feet under now.
Dirt farmer.
Buried in his underneath the
God
fucking
bless.
rusted out, 1972 Ford truck on
Yeah.
his piece of shit farm. Um,
That's a case where mindset equals life set.
yes, yeah, exactly. No fucking sympathy. One, it's like I don't know. Was he always that bad, this person, or I don't know. Well, let us table that for for another day. But
Yes.
all right, well, we've been going long enough, about 40 minutes. That seems about right. So yeah, next time we'll do Tell 'em Shade and I don't know something else.
Grab your popcorn.
That's right. All right. So sorry about the microphone issues. I'll either cut that out completely and you won't know what I'm talking about, or if it's not too bad, I'll just leave it in. So we will let you go for Rogan. This is your boy, Double D. We will talk this week. Have a great rest of the weekend. We will